Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. We are back in action. Apologize for those who were tuning in late last week. I had some stuff going on that was keeping me busy in the mornings, but appreciate all of you guys coming back for this week. This isn't going to be, unfortunately, another short week of live streams, doing some traveling later in the week, but hopefully we get everything covered early on, and then we're back to normal on the scheduling. So thank you. Dave Nelson, good to see you. STM Serge Roger, good to see you. John Moss, Washington Heights. And of course, too, as soon as I'm gone, we have all these big announcements and all this exciting stuff going on, which perfectly fine for me. I'd rather cover it a little late than not get these announcements at all. But we'll have plenty to talk about in this video, specifically with all of the exciting stuff that got announced over the weekend. Obviously, we had Robinhood, we had Grayscale, we had the SEC admitting the crypto assets themselves were not securities, and then some other exciting stuff that with all that going on, it goes under the radar. Things like the permission DEX. So a lot of exciting stuff happening. Looks like it looks like the live stream is popping off early today. Appreciate you guys a lot for that. If you are getting here early, take one quick second, exit out of the live chat, hit that like button, go over to X, drop a retweet. These two simple things are really going to get this thing popping nice and early. And then we can get into all the exciting stuff taking place. So we'll take a quick second while I pull some of the stuff up, take a look at what's happening in the news, and yeah, we'll jump right into it today. So appreciate all you guys doing what you can to help spread the word on this live stream. Liking and retweeting helps me out so much there. Thank you.
Cost. That will break the back of inflation. We need to break the back of inflation. Then we need to figure out how to build batteries for the long term, not the short term. We can't be all in electric cars by 2030. Trucks will be too heavy. You can't even go over bridges in America. So I need some practicality, and I need some business practicality.
When you talk to the president, former president, about tariffs, do you see it as a bargaining chip, or do you think you're going to see tariffs across the board of 20%?
I think we should put tariffs on stuff we make and not put tariffs on stuff we don't make. It's pretty simple. And of course, it's a bargaining chip. We can't sell a Ford or GM in Europe. You go to Europe, you can't sell a Ford or GM. Why? There's 100% tariffs. How about in Japan? 100% tariffs. So do you think if we said, we're going to tariff you the way you tariff us, do you think they're going to allow Mercedes and all these Japanese companies and Porsches and BMWs to all of a sudden have 100% tariffs in America? Of course not. They're going to come and negotiate, and their tariffs are going to come down. And finally, Ford and General Motors are going to be able to sell in these places.
How does that sound?
Of course they're going to come down. Of course, this is just negotiating.
It absolutely makes sense if you do it strategically.
So something nice that's kind of happening in the background here, and I'm not sure if people have been paying attention to this, but it's a pretty big deal. Is it really looks like there's a new set of pressures being put on Gary Gensler here. Eleanor Tarrant reported on this the other day. It looks like Gary Gensler is under investigation by Republican lawmakers for engaging in political favoritism. This is coming after a lot of reports saying that, I mean, essentially, Democrats are going to be pushing to get Gary Gensler out of the current position he's in at the SEC. So it seems like we're back kind of in this time period where there's a lot of talk about Gary Gensler not surviving the change in administration, regardless if it is a change in administration or it's the same administration. $50 basis points cut is up to 57%. Very interesting, Roger. We'll have to take a look at that. I haven't seen that yet. But we'll definitely take a look. Paul's Balls, good to see you, brother. Yeah, I've been missing all of you. It's good to be back on the live streams, man. These are one of my favorite parts of my entire day. So it stinks whenever there's news breaking and I can't get on live, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and In the long run, it's going to make all of this easier and more free time. But in the moment, there's only so many places I can be at once. Hallsballs, thank you, brother. Thank you. I want to take a look quickly at what Roger said about the 50 basis point hike, because if we could put the 50 basis point hike back on the table, I think that's something that would be extremely bullish here. So Federal Reserve now look to cut rate by 50 points. So what I'm really wondering is what changed that probability, because it looks like it looks like just this morning we're having a large spike in the rate cut probability being 50 basis points. Take a look at this. And my big question is like, what is causing this big spike? Was this the PCE data the other day, or the PPI data? I think it was that was released. Was this the PPI data causing this, or was this those inflation numbers we were watching? Now, for those of you guys who remember, one of the funny things the other day was that we were watching those inflation numbers. We were watching those inflation numbers coming in. CNBC and a lot of the expected, nothing changed. That's the thing. It's like those were, people claimed that those were expected and nothing changed, but they were still good numbers. And I think what's happening is the market is starting to appreciate the numbers we got. It was something I was talking about in the stream. I was like, it really doesn't make sense that the market's not rewarding these numbers, because they're really good numbers. And I wonder if right now the market is essentially saying, oh, well, yeah, now that we look at these are great numbers. So maybe we shouldn't be selling off the market and discounting future rate cuts based on the fact that we just got really good numbers. We're going to take a look at the chart real quick, and I want to show you guys what I mean. Unfortunately, it looks like this chart has drawings all over it. So let me just clean that up real quick before I present it over to you guys. But take a look at this, because this is kind of the big deal in terms of why we would get freed up a bit on those ultimate rate cuts. And it looks like to me, the market is starting to realize that. That's why we're pricing in 50 basis points. So take a look at this. This was the move we had the other day. This big down leg. And this is something we have been talking about for a while. We were watching this all the way, I mean, essentially since the 11% range, but we said right here, we absolutely needed to see this stop consolidating and fall down. And that's exactly what took place here. And I think that's why the market's kind of rewarding this. I think the market's realizing, hey, look at this. We are so within this range in inflation now. Like, why would the Fed not cut more aggressively? So if we take that information we just talked about right there on inflation and then go back to what Roger was saying, we can take a look right here that because of inflation falling back within that target, the chances of a 50 basis point hike are now going up rapidly. Scott says 50 days from an election, it's all political. There is no doubt in my mind that could also be something at influence here. So there's no doubt that with the election coming up, there could definitely be some swaying on that front. So don't disagree with that. 50 basis point. Happy Monday, Tracy. Good to see you. Good to see you, Tracy. So there was a lot of big news recently, and this is another thing we'd been talking about, and it's really good to see. And that's just that a lot of the things we've been waiting for since XRP got clarity are finally starting to take place. I think this was a big one. And that's XRP being listed on Robinhood. The reason this is so big is because obviously a lot of people want that utility bull run, right? A lot of people want that utility bull run where real world utility is going to take us to brand new all-time highs. And we're going to see something, I think, much larger than's really ever been seen in crypto. So for a while, we were really reliant on a lot of things like speculation. We weren't really reliant on institutional flows, all of these things, right? But Well, what we really want to see is one, that utility kick in, but two, a move away from speculation. But that doesn't mean speculation still can't drive us very high, right? In like 2018, we were close to $2 to $4 with just speculation. So to be listed on Robinhood is definitely going to get us in line with what's needed to really take advantage of one of those speculative bull runs. Robinhood is one of the biggest trading venues for a lot of cryptocurrencies. To see XRP getting back on that platform, I think is a big win. And I think it's also a big win away from tribalism. I think it's a big win away from, hey, we're going to gatekeep XRP and make it so you can't buy XRP. All of these things seem to be changing in a pretty rapid manner. So it's very nice to see Robinhood taking this step. Guys, we are popping off right now on the live stream. Really appreciate all of you. We have 242 people on YouTube and almost 400 people on X. Make sure, if you haven't already, exit out of that live chat, drop a quick like on the stream. So helpful. Thank you to everyone doing that. Really does help out the stream a lot. So really appreciate that. For XRP relisting. XRP was never actually listed on Robinhood, funny enough. I don't know why XRP was never listed on Robinhood. It might have just because Robinhood was getting big into crypto kind of at the same time that this case was going on. So it might have just been always, hey, we're not going to get involved in this until the case is over, which to me makes sense from a legal standpoint. But it is important to note, I believe it's the first time it's been listed. Robinhood /Bitstamp /Ripple derivative exchange. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. Yeah, obviously. So that's another interesting thing here that we did speculate on a while ago. Robinhood bought a piece of Bitstamp, or actually acquired Bitstamp, which Ripple had a pretty big chunk of. So another interesting connection there. As soon as Robinhood kind of gets involved with Bitstamp, suddenly XRP is relisted. We also know in the automated market makers, XRP or Bitstamp, now Robinhood has XRP pooled in there. So another little interesting tidbit. Mikkel, do you think we'll hear from the SEC about appeal or not prior to October 7th? I don't think we're going to hear from the SEC because I don't think they're going to appeal, but it's important to realize, right, that that's just my opinion. There's a lot of smart lawyers on X who think differently from me on that front. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to find out on October 7th. I actually was conservative in giving that October 7th date. Just so you guys know, because I never want people to get overly optimistic about a date and for it not to happen. So I believe the real date is actually like a day or two before that. And then that's a weekend. So likely it'd probably be by like October 5th-ish or October 4th. So I don't think we're gonna have to wait all the way to October 7th to find out. I think if we do get to like October 5th, we're probably in the clear, but the SEC can appeal up until that date. So we do kind of have to wait and see what happens from there. Taking a look at the AMM pools, just because I was talking about Bitstamp, it looks like those have been a little stagnant recently. So probably waiting on the introduction of RLUSD and some new big projects to really cause some of those pools to get funneled in. But I guess we could take a look real quick here. I already have it on my screen. If we take a look right here, we can see that we had a nice rise for a while, going from about 1 million XRP pool to about 13 million XRP. Pretty much over the summer, but recently we've kind of been stuck at this 12 to 13 million XRP number. Would love to see that move ahead, and we can take a look at the voting as well here and some of those amendments. Looks like DID got 2 more votes as well since the last time I checked. Here's DID up to 62%, and Price Oracle's hanging at 54%. I believe that got 1 more vote since the last time I checked. So Price Oracles and DID. X-Chain Bridge continues to go down. I believe that is because Axelar is essentially replaced that X-Chain Bridge. Let's take a look at some of the comments. I don't think we're going to find out on October 7th, midnight hour, but that's just my guess. I'm 99% sure it was listed before the lawsuit on Robinhood. Crypto View, it was on Robinhood, but not for buy and sell. I could be, once again, I could be wrong on that. I know it was on Robinhood, but you couldn't actually buy it or sell it. They were just tracking the price feed data, because I used to think the same thing as you. And then I had some friends trying to buy it on Robinhood and they couldn't. Deefin, un momento. I will check that out for sure. Let me just get in through a couple more of these questions. Oh, Deefin. I didn't realize it was okay. That's exciting. Okay, we will check that out in 1 second. Very, very awesome to see that. How important are XLS 80D and 81D? Roger, I don't have the numbers memorized like Jake. Jake has all the amendments. He knows all those numbers by heart. I'm gonna need a description on which one those correlate to. XRP Shillionaire, good to see you, brother. Extra long stream on October 6th. Yeah, we'll have to do something. Yeah, maybe 24-hour live stream. I don't think I'm built for a 24-hour live stream, nor could I actually pull it off. Defin, so institutional. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to like the stream. Man, it's so helpful. New 2.3 fix released yesterday with, okay, so that's fixing a lot of the full history node stuff. It's funny, I thought full history nodes were like critical to run the network. I don't think they are. Oh, I think we just got manufacturing data. Let me flip over to that.
You know, Becky, I'm following these Fed fund futures. They made a pretty strong move this morning towards pricing in a 50. As the Fed goes into this meeting with an unusual amount of debate over its decision here, Fed funds probability show the market trading at a 65% chance of a 50 now. I think I went to hit the weekend. It was around 45, and just a 35% chance of a 25. That's a sharp turnaround from last week. After the CPI reports, it was trading at an 85% probability of a 25. We usually go into these meetings 80 or 90% decided anyway ahead of the meetings here. It's unclear what's changed all this. Several articles out there in the journal. Several former Fed officials also suggesting they could make a case for 50, even if they did not all explicitly advocate for one. Here's some of the comments. Former Cleveland Fed president saying on CNBC last week she could make that case for 50, even while she said it would be tough to communicate. Thoughts also echoed by Esther George, who was head of the Kansas City Fed. Bill Dudley, ex of the New York Fed, outright advocating for a 50 last week and in a new article this morning. But Bullard from St. Louis, Fisher from Dallas, they supported a 25 to start for economic and political reasons. Here are the reasons for 25. Fed goes to 25. It's the default move by the Fed. And default is what you would do. You would be gradual unless the data is screaming for you to go, not in default. 50 is concerned that it sends a panic signal on the economy. And there are politics, both internally at the Fed, getting everybody on board, and the presidential election, said Dallas Richard Fisher on our air.
I would argue for 25. First of all, you don't want to send a signal of war.
XP Market, good to see you. We missed you. I know we switched up the time on you on the live stream, but it's good to have you back. Also, very interesting discussion there. It actually rehashed, funny enough, a conversation we were having this morning about like, hey, what actually changed here, right? And I'm just going to go back to this real quick because I think it's so important. I actually think it's kind of obvious what's changed. The CPI is dropping directly where it needs to be. Like the CPI is in line. So what people are realizing and what the market is realizing is the Fed has no reason to keep rates high anymore. Like, I don't think it's more complicated than that. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing the Fed now adjusting policy and changing what they want to do based on the fact that inflation is back within their target. And it's so funny to hear CNBC kind of talking about that, because that was one of the things that I thought was interesting going on in CNBC the other day. Everyone is saying, oh, we have no reason, we have no idea why any of this is happening. But to me, it's like inflation has fallen within target. So the other day we didn't see the market react accordingly. We might have a pretty substantial market reaction today to inflation really, or the Federal Reserve really starting to say we're dialing back these interest rates. So a lot of good news on that front. That was sort of unexpected. For those of you watching the live stream the other day, there was a lot of confusion about why we got these really good inflation numbers and the market wasn't reporting on it. I said, I kind of just sat there and I said, hey, either we're missing something here or the market's just going to react to this late. And it looks like the market is just, in fact, reacting to it late. It looks like a lot of stuff is kind of coming back into play as we speak. Take a look at the XRP price chart real quick here. XRP had a nice rebound over the past couple of days, moving in a very, very similar fashion to what we've been waiting for. Just waiting on this October 7th date to hit. And other than that, hoping to start putting pressure back up at the top portion of this range. We would like to see XRP kind of move all the way up here to that October 7th and have that be blast off. But I don't know. It just seems like everything is still falling into place very nicely. You want to take a look at the DXY? We can certainly do that. I want to cut over to this real quick. Let's cut over to this. I like this guy speaking on CNBC right now.
Crazy and projecting even more by this time next year.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, I just want to say one thing. I just said that what Howard Lutnick made the most sense to me in terms of what I've heard for tariffs.
Right.
I was wrong because what he said is not right. There are not 100% tariffs coming from Japan or Germany. Then it would make sense if you could negotiate it. But right now, Japan has no tariffs on cars coming in. The only reason I'm saying this, because when I said it made sense to me.
Right.
It does not.
The EU is what? 10?
EU is 10% across the
10%.
board, it looks like, on tariffs coming in from this.
And we don't do anything to EU.
And look, part of the reason American cars don't sell well in Japan is because there's an outdated image of quality, but they're also a lot bigger. They guzzle gas and they're too big for the streets there. So.
Right. And they do have a lot of, they have really strict safety protocols that they don't do to their own cars and things like that. I mean, there's stuff that goes on everywhere, but those numbers were not true. Coming up, Gene Munster's take on iPhone 16 sales over the next.
And we kind of missed it, but we'll go back to this real quick. Here's the dollar. Dollar is having a lot of pressure on this bottom line. And I would imagine if we got that 50 basis point cut, that would be the thing that would really give us an extended move downwards. I think it's possible we do get the 50 basis point cut. I would say I'm probably 70-30 on it, probably. 70% we don't, we get a 25. 30% we get the 50. I don't think the Federal Reserve needs to get overly aggressive with it yet, or I don't think they will. I think they actually do need to. What they do is a different story, but we're very close to it regardless. Also, guys, we have 1,000 people watching, 348 on YouTube. It looks like YouTube is finally figuring out that these live streams are happening earlier. So thank you so much to everyone over there. Make sure to keep dropping a like. It's super, super helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In terms of how this impacts the yen, Jungle Link, good to see you, brother. Love to see you down there. Love to see you down there, man. Hope you're doing well today. A lot of exciting stuff, Jungle, for XRP holders recently, and it's nice to see kind of a slew of announcements coming in. One of the things I've talked about for a while is, XRP has this clarity, but where are the announcements, right? Why aren't we really getting anything exciting with this newfound clarity? And one of the things I tried to talk about was just that a lot of these big institutions and a lot of these big entities, corporations and governments, they have board of directors and there's a lot of checks and balances there. So even for someone like Robinhood to relist XRP, there was a lot of internal conversations that needed to happen, and the same thing for Grayscale. And I think it makes a lot of sense that we're actually seeing a lot of these institutions reacting to XRP not being a security in a delayed fashion. So I believe that's a lot of what we're seeing in terms of a lot of these initial rounds of announcements. And I believe now that will likely compound on itself and we'll see a lot more of this activity in which they have time to get together and start talking about a lot of this stuff. Yeah, Jungle's been killing it for a long time. Jungle is an absolute OG in the XRP community. So Jungle was one of the first people who I've been watching. Jungle really was one of the people who got me into XRP. So funny story about that. He was one of those first accounts I found. So massive shout out to Jungle on that front. Oh yeah, I mean XP Market, I believe, is in terms of ease of use, they're blowing it out of the water. Blowing it out of the water. I do have another video loaded up here. There's so much going on. There's so much going on. I got another thing loaded up over here in terms of Bitstamp and Ripple working on a derivatives exchange for the XRP Ledger. We're going to head over to that in a minute. I do want to quickly pull up XP Market though. Haven't been over there in a minute, and I would like to check out what's going on that front. Then we'll get back over to this derivative talk. I want to see the pools though, because a funny little interesting tidbit here is Bitstamp, who Ripple has a partnership with and was acquired by Robinhood, is now sitting in a position where they're listing XRP, and they have two of the biggest pools on the automated market maker. So you can see here via XP Market, we have BTC to XRP and USD to XRP, two of the largest pools in the AMM, which is now essentially Robinhood running those pools. So Robinhood is essentially now running automated market makers on the XRP Ledger. I know it's not directly how it works, right? It's a subsidiary, it's a different organization, but it seems like to me it's a bit of a coincidence to now have this happening, as well as the fact that Robinhood is listing XRP as well. So definitely some nice things there on that front. It's really good to see a lot of this activity taking place. Like I said before, it seemed like for a while, it's like, hey, why aren't we getting any of this stuff, right? XRP has this clarity. Where are these announcements? And it turns out, I think the fact of the matter is it was just taking a while for teams to get comfortable with dealing with XRP after the SEC versus Ripple case. So I also want to take a look at Dapp rankings. This is one of my favorite ones. I love looking at the popular Dapps. Okay, Magnetic, XP Market, XRP Cafe, Sologenic. Very cool. Nice to see those as the top three. Those are kind of the top three I would expect to see. I wonder what bids is. Haven't seen this yet. Would be really cool to see a prediction market on the XRP Ledger. Would love to see some kind of prediction market. That would be really cool. Election betting, stuff like that. I think that would do really, really well. But massive shout out to XP Market. Great platform. And we appreciate everything they do for the channel as well. So thank you guys over there. You're incredible, and really appreciate you always coming over to the live streams. It's a lot of fun. On XRP rebranded to bids. Oh, good insight. XP Market, do you think that's going to indicate a Oh, okay. Probably NFT bidding. Don't forget, Robinhood bent over all of Wall Street and screwed over retail. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to be happy about Robinhood. I'm just saying there's a lot of retail liquidity over there that's going to come over. So, yeah, don't get it twisted. Robinhood has definitely done their fair share of sus stuff, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not still an important thing to have Robinhood listing XRP. So, no, I wouldn't trust them either, right? You want to hold your own crypto, and I wouldn't want Robinhood holding my XRP of anyone. But it also, like I said, we still want the ability to be able to get capital through Robinhood because of its tie to retail. I want to listen up to this. This was sent over by DFIN. Well, that's not what we wanted to happen.
very
Man,
so
I don't know what's up with that. I think I should be able to pull the video on this other computer. That's annoying though. Ta-da. Un momento on this front. Was not expecting that to happen. Oh, I gotta go all the way. All right, we'll get that. We'll get that fixed up in a minute. For some reason I can't pull video sources through that other feed. Not the end of the world though. I should be able to pull it here. Appreciate that, Deefin, too. This should be pretty interesting. John Deaton will be on Good Morning Crypto today. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So great listening to Deaton. He's such a well-spoken person. Such a well-spoken person. It's like every single time I listen to Deaton, I'm like blown away with the stuff he's saying. All right.
We're launching our own derivatives exchange in the next few months. So that's something we are most excited about and really hope to cooperate closely with Ripple there as well in launching our own derivatives exchange in the next few months. So that's something we are most excited about and really hope to cooperate closely with Ripple there as well.
We'll probably find out if this Robinhood news is legit on October 16th. Paul Barron Network, what makes you say that? What makes you say that? In terms of actually listing it? Oh, that's funny, Fire Dog. That's funny. What makes you say that? Is there a question of or whether or not that Robinhood news was legit? My understanding was that that news was legit. But if there's something that you're seeing that makes you question that, I'm curious. Robinhood doesn't have tokens, just IOUs. Yeah, having Paul Barron and Jungle stop by on the live stream is incredible. So awesome to see both of them, and really excited to get on the Paul Barron show as well. That's going to be a lot of fun. Super cool though to see we're launching our own derivatives exchange in the next couple of months. So that's between Ripple and Robinhood at this point. Ripple, Robinhood, and Bitstamp. I don't know. It makes me all the more confident that the news is legit and we will see that listing. But I am curious. I haven't seen anything. On October 2nd, 16th, Robinhood will reveal a new product just for traders, but we see no other reliable source. In terms of an XRP listing or a derivatives exchange, you don't mind, just so I know exactly what we're referring to here. I like the comment. Robinhood doesn't have tokens, just IOU. To a certain degree, that is what it is. It is. They do have tokens, but you do just have an IOU to the token. So, oh, derivative exchange. Okay, got it. Paul Barron, thank you. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I completely agree. That is Yeah, that's definitely speculation. This is an interesting. I wonder when this video was pulled from. Let me see the date of this video. Let me see when this video was posted. Oh, 2 days ago. Oh, this video is 2 days. I mean, that's 2 days ago by Ripple and talking about this derivatives exchange. I mean, that to me is at least interesting. But I completely agree. Yeah, love that Paul Barron's been able to tap his network into XRP as well. Hold on. Okay, yep. I got you. Yeah, so it's speculation on whether Ripple's involved, what Ripple would be doing. All we have is the speculative bet that Ripple might be involved. They want Ripple to be involved. But yep, we'll have to see more on that. Paul, appreciate you for stepping in and clarifying that. That is awesome. Definitely some interesting synergies, though. Definitely some interesting synergies. And I would be curious to know the relationship of Vlad and Brad Garlinghouse. I wonder if there's anything there that would make this more interesting. We know they're both probably from kind of that Silicon Valley sort of pedigree. Both fintech companies going up against the SEC. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something there in terms of that connection. We know Brad's a very well-connected person. And if you've ever gotten to meet Brad Garlinghouse, with the amount of security guards he's surrounded with, seems like Brad might know a person or two. But that's also just a little more speculation. Guys, the chat is absolutely popping right now, and I love it. I appreciate it so much, but I am going to flip this over to members only. Haven't done members only since we started the new lives, and it's really just because it's taken people a while to start adjusting to the new time. So I want to move this over to members only live streams for those people who are members. Appreciate you guys also so much for doing that. And yeah, it will help me keep up on the chat a little better because it is popping off. And I want to make sure those members get that special access. If you do want to become a member, it's like $5 a month or something tiny like that. Check it out. It's in the description of the video. And we'll do member only. And feel free to stick around. It's just to the chat. So here you guys go. All right, should be member only. Let's take a look at Paul's latest interview with DeFi discussion in Congress was awesome. Thought you that Congress doesn't know anything. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Congress. I don't expect a lot from Congress on any of this, but Congress really doesn't need to know. Like, Congress needs to know a lot, but they don't really need to know that much. And the reason I say that is because at the end of the day, Congress is just going to hire some people who know what they're talking about to do the things they need done. So as long as Congress wants crypto moving forward, then I think that's for the best. And I don't really expect any of these people to truly understand DeFi. These people, most of them barely really understand anything. They just have to be given the thumbs up and saying, all right, let this through the door. Dave Nelson, Silver Days, Messi, Linda, Tracy. It's nice. It's nice to see kind of an OG squad back together. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And appreciate you guys for sticking around and being members. I know with a lot of the all the crazy things going on recently, it's been tough to catch up on a lot of live streams and even the member stuff as well. So appreciate you guys a lot for that. There's some other thing. The other big thing we have to talk about is that XRP Trust coming back for Grayscale and ETF implications on that. This is another one of those things that legal clarity is going to be a big deal for. One of the bigger things on the legal clarity piece on the Grayscale one is the fact that they're actually only allowing it for accredited investors. So that's a little bit of an interesting tidbit here. I don't know the logic behind this. I don't know if they're going to open it up to all investors or it's just going to be accredited from here on out. But it is interesting that they are only doing it for accredited investors. Murdoch, good to see you. I always love to see you down in the chat, Murdoch. Absolute legend. You've got a picture of one of Brad's bodyguards. Yeah, when you meet Brad Garlinghouse, you're meeting an entire posse. Like, he's got guards. And I don't know. That was one of those things for me where I like when I met Brad Garlinghouse and I saw those bodyguards, I'm like, wait, for someone who's supposedly the CEO of a small startup fintech company, this dude's got a lot of bodyguards. So very interesting there. But yeah, it is interesting to see the Grayscale product only for accredited investors. I don't think this is necessarily a negative or anything like that. I'm just kind of curious on that decision-making process. See what else we got in the chat. Great to see the members here, man. Great to see the members. Just checking the news real quick and making sure we're not missing anything. It's so nice to finally have such a plethora of different things going on. Let's go back to the charts for a bit. Let's go back to the charts. Didn't really spend a ton of time there. Obviously we saw the DXY dropping, but we didn't take a big look at XRP to BTC or anything like that. So that's a good thing we could jump over to. I guess I need to be making sure I'm typing it on the right computer. XRP, BTC. Take a look at what this looks like right now. I'd imagine nothing overly exciting on XRP BTC. Patrick Welland, good to have you. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the members are a great way to help me out a ton and just making sure these live streams can keep going. And your guys' support is absolutely incredible on that. So thank you so much. That's not the right button. Actually, it is the right button. That's the right button, and that's the right button. All right, XRP to BTC. Here we are. Actually, very positive. I guess I should have probably anticipated that, considering XRP's movement over the last couple days. It looks like we're kind of breaking out of this range we were stuck in, which is incredible. Very good to see that. All right, I wasn't necessarily expecting this. Looks like XRP is kind of breaking out and continuing this push upward. Nothing parabolic yet, but push up above that, and it could get very interesting. Adam says, haven't heard me talk about HBAR recently. Yeah, it's just that there's not that same level of news and interest in HBAR. Hold on, we got a market alert here. Let's see what this is real quick.
Hello again, Frank.
Hey, good morning again, Becky. We're going to start off with shares of Colgate, Palmolive. You can see those shares are lower, down almost 1.5% after a Wells Fargo downgrade to underweight. However, the price target that remains the same.
The market alert is a downgrade for Colgate. That's not a market alert. Yeesh. Chadwick, thank you so much for the gifted membership. All right, let's go back over the XRP chart before they try to stick us with another market alert for a toothpaste company. Absolutely insane that they're going to say that's a market alert. Down 1% too. 1%. That's like a normal swing in the market. Absolutely incredible. They tried to stick us with that there. Colgate. All right, thanks guys for that. No, HBAR is a great project. There's nothing wrong with HBAR. I'm still very bullish on HBAR. It's just more of like, this is the thing that people like. Ripple and XRP are so far ahead when it comes to like progression and things happening and the news feed and how fast we get developments. Like HBAR and a lot of these other projects will get to that point, but they're just so early. There's not as much going on. If something really exciting happens for HBAR, like, let me know and I will cover it. But just think about what's happened to XRP in these last couple hours. We didn't even get to talk about this yet. The permissioned exchange being proposed. Robinhood relisting XRP. Grayscale relisting XRP. The SEC admitting that half of their case against Ripple has been wrong. It's just a lot of stuff going on for XRP. So as soon as HBAR has kind of that level of stuff going on, let me know. A huge fan of HBAR. See what happens. Let's see what's going on with XRP kind of in this early market. Go to a shorter time frame. All right, so we're putting in a bit of a recovery. We had that nice big pump, kind of came back down. And now it looks like we're trying to push back up. I think the market today is going to open pretty green. And if that happens, I think we can get a pretty big push for XRP here. We had that nice big pump the other day, actually broke 60 cents. Then the market got pretty red. It looks like that was mostly from Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if we do have a decently green market today, I can definitely see us coming back up and putting in some price momentum. It really seems like it was Bitcoin and Ethereum that kind of brought us back down after we had some really nice price momentum. So would love to see that reversed. You know what's been extremely disappointing? When was the last time we heard from Gary Gensler? Anyone have an answer on that? Like, when was the last time we actually heard anything from Gary Gensler? Like in front of I literally don't think it's happened. We saw it once. I literally think we saw Gary Gensler under more pressure under Democrats. I literally think we saw Gary Gensler under more pressure under Democrats. Anyone else agree with that? Can you look at XRP to ETH chart? Yeah, absolutely. No problem. I keep hearing that Gary Gensler is supposed to go in front of Congress. It doesn't seem like it ever happens. Gary, you're fired. Yeah, I wish. Oh, wow. XRP to ETH chart's looking very good. Dave Nelson, good shout out. Wow, look at that. XRP to ETH has been very positive. Wow. That is a great call out. Take a look at this. We actually kind of regained a floor we had in a while ago. So if we draw a line right across here to take a look at what that floor that was created. Hold on, right across here. You can see that we're really recaptured that in a big way. So great chart right here. XRP to ETH looking very positive. It's the XRP to Bitcoin chart also looks good, but I think this could be leading that a little bit. So in the same exact way we're getting this massive movement here, I think we'll probably see the XRP to BTC chart follow suit, which would be incredible. It's one of the things we've really been waiting for. October 7th could be that date. As you guys can see, all these charts look ready to go. It's just waiting. Hey, what is going to be that thing to send it? I don't know a more obvious thing to send it other than this case being over. It could be the announcement of an ETF as well. We probably are very close to someone filing for that XRP ETF. We had that futures data. We had that futures price tracking data announcement by the CME the other day. If you compound that with the fact that we do have this Grayscale Trust coming back, it does look good. Just scrolling through the news real quick and making sure we're not missing out on anything. I don't think I commented on this yet. I don't think I commented on this. And that's the permissioned derivative exchange coming to the XRP Ledger. So take a look at this. This is very interesting. And this just goes to what Ripple's really doing differently. And some people hate this. Some people hate this. Some people like it. But I mean, for me, this is really where crypto will go. And I am the big fan of this. Permission dexes coming to the XRP Ledger. This is from Vet. Make sure to follow Vet. Firedog, thank you so much for the morning coffee, brother. And Adam, welcome. Great to have you as a member over here. Thank you so much. Somehow my membership didn't auto renew. I had to update it. Yeah, I think YouTube's pretty much going to do everything possible to quasi shadow ban me. So it doesn't seem like they send out alerts when I go live. It doesn't seem like people get alerts when I make videos. It doesn't seem like people's memberships auto renew. Seems like there's quite a lot of things happening in the background. But the best part about for me is like for me, I just want to make the content, and you guys have been so incredible to essentially just support the streams, like and retweet them, and fight back against that shadow ban. early this morning, we have some of the most viewers we've had on in a while. We're up to 1,400, almost 1,500. So thank you guys so much for everything you do. It's because of you guys. I really don't believe I can really be shadow banned just because you guys are so incredible. You guys will always be here. So really appreciate you guys doing what you can, liking the stream, retweeting. It's those things that really make it so no matter what they do on their front, we're going to stay on top. So thank you guys. You guys are incredible. And it's kind of this XRP Mickle Mafia, this mentality that's really allowed us to come up on top. $626. That's one of the things I think about a lot. Like, it's going to be insane to look back at some of these live streams in 30 years from now. Like, insane. And I can't wait for the day people ask me like, hey, like, how did you know about these things? Did you just get lucky? And like, I can show them a live stream of us talking about this with the creation of a lot of these systems. Like, we were the people who literally figured it out before anyone else. And I can't wait for these live streams to be documenting the entire process. Like the good days, the bad days, the boring days, the exciting days, the big announcements, the announcements of nothing. It's like, it will all be here. And like that history, that documentation of it all, that fact that we never wavered in our confidence. And like throughout all of it, we like stuck together as like this community. I think that's what's really special about this. And it's proof that like our conviction never wavered, which I think is really cool. Thank you so much. Well, they are working on XRP Unleashed right now. That should be a great documentary documenting a lot of this. They're killing it over there. They really are. They're going to be doing some really big things for the XRP community, and I'm really excited to see that meet its kind of full potential. Take a look at pre-market quick, see if anything interesting is happening there. Looks like market's still a little choppy. Nothing overly exciting. Bitcoin's actually coming down. XRP's holding up a bit. Bitcoin's just stuck in this eternal chop. And like, we need Bitcoin to make a new all-time high. Like, we need Bitcoin to make a new all-time high. That's really what we're waiting for. We can't get it. Let's jump back into this permission DEX real quick. For permission DEX, this is absolutely necessary for institutions to only fill for orders of KYC AML accounts. We need to bring them not only on chain, but they can also interact. Decentralized exchanges are revolutionizing finance due to their ability to offer significant benefits such as intermediary elimination, lower transaction costs, enhanced security, and user asset custody. These advantages align perfectly with the growing demand for efficient financial systems. However, a major hurdle hinders wider adoption by transitional institutions. The anonymity of DEXs makes it difficult to comply with AML and know your customer. This challenge highlights a critical need for the development of permission systems with DEXs, such as a system that would allow an institution to adhere to regulations and still benefiting from the core advantages of blockchain technology. So this essentially means that they're going to be adding a second layer on a DEX to make it more permissioned, to make it so that they can comply with regulations. And look, this is what I'm so excited about with the XRP Ledger, right? If Ethereum is going to be that ecosystem where it's like, hey, we're not going to be following the regulations, we are not going to be following any of this stuff, that's great. Ethereum has a massive lead on the market in terms of development and in terms of a lot of that. But there's absolutely going to need to be a place for regulated entities to get together and use blockchain technology. There's absolutely going to need to be a place where tokens have clawbacks. There's absolutely going to need a place where there's decentralized ID, and a lot of these different institutions have certainty they're not interacting with terrorists. Like, that is what I love about Ripple's approach. It's different. It's not the same thing over and over again. It's not, hey, Ethereum did this, so we have to be Ethereum 2.0. It's this idea of, hey, we're going to build an environment that we think is going to be beneficial, And we're going to make it different from anything else out there. And I believe that's the right way to really get mass adoption, especially when you're doing it from the standpoint Ripple is doing. Firedog, we need to see sub 50. Yeah, Ripple has always been about the institutions, and it's because that's where the big hole in the market is. Like retail systems are pretty covered in crypto. Like there's a lot of retail systems that are being spun up, and it's exciting. But man, I think the holy grail, like the holy grail of all financial activities, has always been institutional activities. It always has been, and I believe that's just where Ripple's putting their stake in the ground. Some people always say XRP is for retail and institutions. Absolutely, right? Like, I don't think anyone's saying that retail can't use XRP. Retail will always be able to use XRP. But what it comes down to, I believe that's more important, is like who's the target market? Like for Ripple, I really do think the target market is institutions. Let's take a look at BTC, Firedog. Let's take a look at BTC. Firedog's calling BTC sub 50K. Just want to take a quick look and see what that looks like. I could see it. I could see it. I would not prefer it, but I could see it. Take a look at crypto real quick. So here we go. Here's BTC. Hanging out at the previous all-time high. This is where we've really wanted to see that break. We really wanted to see consolidation here and something like this, right? That's what we wanted to see. I think what Firedog's saying is it's very possible we come down here for one last wipeout before ultimately making this move upward. So let me see. There's a possibility we rip out to 60 to 70K, but that's pretty unlikely. I can see a dip after this next pump, and we will get our next week back down below 50K. It will happen extremely fast, but either reband fast 1 to 5 days, slow chop sideways until we blast through. Those are the ways to take it out. Okay, interesting. So I believe, based on what you just said there, I'm kind of in line with how you're thinking this is going to work. Obviously, these are just crude drawings, but I think we both see the market moving higher. It just comes down to, do we have to do one last leg? I can see either taking place. I think gold's an interesting indicator, though. I want to take a look at gold real quick, because gold is actually leading the way. Whoops. 1 day chart shows it better. Hold on. Trading views drawing feature can be so annoying. It like doesn't ever recognize when you don't want to draw. Okay, so that would be, let me clean this up a little bit. So below 50K, I could see us getting, yeah, down to this level here. What do you mean then invert the map? Oh, you want me to invert the entire thing? All right, now we got to get you on here to do some trading at some point. That'd be fun. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, I like this inverted view a lot, actually. Yeah, you can't. It's funny how you can see it better. Yeah, you could definitely see how that could happen. Very interesting. So that 49 to 48 level right in here, seeing that spike up there, I think would be very possible. Yeah. Good call, Fire Dog. Appreciate that. I do want to take a look at gold real quick, though. I think gold is, I do believe there's a chance gold is kind of leading the way for something like Bitcoin. So take a look at this. Wow, gold is really extending upward. That's incredible. So I wonder if this chart's going to end up being similar for Bitcoin, right? And maybe this is that big leg that we need on Bitcoin, something like this. But look at gold. It had this previous all-time high here, consolidated back here-ish, and then ultimately made that big leg up. And if we take a look at Bitcoin, we can see it's actually a pretty similar story. It's like we consolidated back at the previous all-time high. And now we're consolidating here again. And now we're really just waiting for that bigger move upward. So it is interesting to me how similar these charts look from Bitcoin to gold. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed that, but these charts, I think, are very, very similar to one another. Yeah, I definitely agree there. Typically, we always see Bitcoin kind of lead Fire Dog, and then the rest of the market follows suit. Roger says, lunatics, I've been waiting since 2018. They will have to pull XRP from my cold, dead hands. I love that, Roger. Know what you hold, baby. At the end of the day, that's all it is. At the end of the day, that's all it is. Understanding at a deep fundamental level what you hold, why it's important, and why when this is all said and done, your asset's going to be more valuable. Really doesn't get more simple than that. 1,300 over on X. Absolutely incredible. The support over on X has been outstanding. Let's do one last quick pull through the news here. Want to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Seems like we've covered most of it. We did Robinhood, Grayscale, the permission DEX, as well as the potential for a derivative exchange between Robinhood and Ripple. Still speculation there, but interesting nonetheless. Oh, what is this? Auto. Huh. Let me share this with you guys. Has anyone seen this? Deposit your XRP into Ripple Custody Vault Solution and receive a 1-to-1 on Auto blockchain to use in its DeFi application on its site. Ripple stores the assets safely in a verifiable program trustless environment. Very interesting. Looks like they just went live with the XRP Ledger. Looks like DeFi built into the Futureverse. Very interesting. Cool, cool, cool. Nice little announcement. I'll have to keep my eye on that. So that might be the new way they do bridges. It might just be like Ripple holds the XRP and then issues you a new token. That's a very clean, easy way to get bridging done. Silver days, no problem. Yes, Ripple stablecoin is likely only a couple weeks out. I believe we'll probably hear about it once Ripple knows the SEC is not appealing the case. Probably towards the end of the month, I think we'll get big news on the stablecoin, and it's going to increase it's going to help XRP a lot by essentially allowing more activities in DeFi, and also ultimately being able to be put in the automated market maker, locking up XRP on the other side. So all of that looks really good. It's kind of just getting it across the finish line, which we don't know what is kind of holding that back right now. I think it's two things. I think it's probably a mix of the Ripple SEC case, and I think the other thing would be waiting for that New York trust license to clear. So we'll find out if that New York trust license can ultimately be transferred over in the next couple of days here. But I mean, guys, we were only we're only 3 weeks away from October 7th. 21 days. 21 days left before we find out whether or not this thing gets appealed. And like I said, we'll probably know a little sooner, October 4th, maybe. Everything is lining up perfectly. I agree. Guys, with that said, I have to jump. Guys, thank you so much for coming. You guys are all absolutely incredible. Thank you for helping me beat this shadow ban. You guys are amazing. I will talk to you tomorrow. We will be back up and running. And yeah, thank you guys so much. For now, Nickel out.